Here's Robert, 19 minutes before the hour, the relieffactor.com studios. Hi, Robert.
Good morning.
Hey.
I just wanted to say that this morning I had listened to you just use the phrase about the elected official, this doozy. And it sort of reminded me, and granted I may not be on the same side of the aisle you are, but it seems to me that when a comment is made like that, it reminds me of our president who constantly makes comments about Sleepy-Eyed Joe this and Sleepy-Eyed Joe that. And that is not governing from a source of getting the country together. The ad hominems that are used, and when I heard you just say this doozy of an elected official, it sort of reminded me, and I think that people really should take umbrage and sit back, including our president, when he makes fun of people on a personal nature.
Gotcha.
And quite candidly, as much as I do enjoy listening to your show, which
Yes,
I
sir.
do, even though I'm on the left more so.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really do feel that you do, and you don't realize it.
I got it. I got it. Let me allow me, Robert.
Trying to be partisan.
You make a great point. Allow me to respond with a question for you. And listen, I'm listening very carefully. Your call is in good faith. Do you ever scrutinize the things that are said about the president in the mainstream media by Joe? When Joe Biden says, in essence, that Trump has had blood on his hands, that elected officials in New York, for example, this poor guy who lost his mother the other day, the comptroller Stringer, said Trump has my mom's blood on his hands. Does any of that trouble you, Robert?
It absolutely troubles me, and I analyze on both sides as fair as I can. But I will tell you, for example, this summer, I was Joe Biden's driver when he did a fundraiser. And I bring this up to you because it's so important how people say, oh, he's sleepy-eyed this and this and that. And I want to just give you a very quick story that maybe your listeners can appreciate. Sure. With all of the comments that are made by our president about this politician, I was in a car with him for 8 hours. And I heard him talk without the press there, without being on television, and he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to some other his colleagues in the car that were driving with us from place to place. And if you could hear and be an ant on that wall, a fly on the wall, and hear how he used a phrase to these people without the television there. These people got to get back to work. They got to kick the tires. It was as real and as coherent and as logical and as leadership could be. Now,
got it. Now, Robert. So, Robert. So, I'm sure you were very much embracing and saluting and appreciating President Trump, who said this week after his conversation with Joe Biden that he's a kind and decent guy. You heard that, right? You heard the president.
100%. And I thought about it as I laid on my couch and listened to it. And I thought how wonderful it is. And I got to tell
absolutely.
you, my next thought was, when is the next time he's going to call him Sleepy Joe?
Okay, and then when's the next time that Biden is going to call him a xenophobe or a racist?
Wait a second.
I mean, first of all, you can't. Wait a minute. Hang on. Hold on, Robert. You can't. I get that we're on different sides of the aisle, but you're attempting to be fair, and I respect that. So you have to be fair. You think Joe Biden's been a Boy Scout in the stuff he said about Donald Trump?
Wait a second. Let me just say, I can't disagree with you. However, when you make a comment like that, it reminds me a lot of the partisan politics discussions I have with all my friends.
But Robert, but you're excusing your side. What the? My goodness!
For a second, Mike, I will explain, please. Often, when I have these partisan discussions with my friends, when I say something, what they do is they go back to the other side of the V and they say, "How about this? Two wrongs don't make a right."
I get it, but you can't focus on one side because you. Let's face it, Robert, and you sound like a splendid guy. You're a partisan. I'm a partisan. You're on what you started this call by saying you're on the other side of the aisle from me, and I don't mind that. There are people in my life. Listen. Let me hang on. Let me finish. You've been on 6 minutes, and I'm listening carefully to you. There are people in my life I love. who are on the other side of the aisle from me. I don't hate somebody because they disagree with me politically, and I think that's what makes this show perhaps a little bit different than others. But you cannot say that you believe in only look at the president and the things he says without acknowledging what things that have been said about him. Let me tell you a story about people who've spent time with Donald Trump, and I'm one of them. Have you ever spent time with him?
No.
Okay, I have, and I know many people who have spent a lot more time with them than I have. And Robert, to a person, he is kind. He listens to people. He's funny. He's abrasive. He is but he's a different person in a car like Joe Biden is from the public persona. These are all human beings.
Michael, please let me just say one thing though, and I heard you. There's a difference, and you hit my point exactly. Believe it or not, and that is. Behind closed doors, that's great, but he is the leader of our country, and when he goes on national television and he makes fun of all of his politician rivals and calls them ad hominems, that is not leading our country.
Guess what? Joe Biden, the guy you favor, wants to lead this country and has been a national political figure for many, many years and has said horrific things about President Trump, and you know it. So it's not a, I get what you mean, Robert, about tit for tat. All I'm saying is we're in a partisan time right now, and if you think partisan politics, as we get closer to November 3rd, is going to dissipate, think again. They all are nice people in person. We get that. But to talk about this president like he is a dog, a clown, a murderer, a killer, a this, a that, a racist, a xenophobe. And you know what? You can't look the other way on that kind of stuff, Robert. I appreciate the exchange very much. It was a good one.